everyone. It's Friday, and today I'm with Brent with Arlington Industries. How are things with you today?
Going well, Art. Thanks for having me today.
Oh, you're quite welcome. So, did you hear the news in Jersey today?
Yeah, I heard as a Californian, when I hear about an earthquake on the East Coast, it really kind of it sparks my interest. So yeah, did you feel it?
Oh yeah, I felt it. It was kind of significant at 4.8. Usually if you get something in Jersey, it's a 2 or a 3, but a 4.8. I was upstairs working in my home office, and I had just had a roofer come to the house who was going to install a cap on the chimney, but said he was going to go up on the roof and he was going to go check the measurements that would need it. And he left, right? So all of a sudden I'm on the second floor of the house and I'm feeling this shaking. And I go, man, that's an awful lot of shaking. And I thought, is my house that weak that the guy going up the ladder is making the second floor shake? And and I was like, and within 10 seconds it was gone. And then I didn't hear him come back off the ladder. And I didn't think about anything else until I got a call from my VP over in PA saying, hey, I just heard Jersey had a significant earthquake.
I saw the same thing, and it's interesting. Yeah, being on the East Coast, you're not used to it. I was 27 before I moved out of California, so the early part of my life, I was all out there and used to quakes. So I would tell my wife and daughter who are from North Carolina, about earthquakes. And in 2020, one
Right.
Saturday, one Saturday morning, we had one, and it was interesting. Like my daughter felt it, and I felt it, and I told her that's what an earthquake feels like. And then, sure enough, that's what it was. But yeah, your initial reaction is to be alarmed because you were not used to it
No, not
on the
not
East Coast at all.
not at all. Not at all. So how are things at Arlington?
Things are going well. Yeah, I
Good.
mean, we're as well as they could be. Yeah, I mean, there's obviously a lot of change going on. I think we're all it's been, I guess, 5 years since 2020. Yeah, but
Yeah.
we're all still, adapting. I think the hybrid office is still a reality as much as people are bringing people into work, into the office, including ourselves, for at least part of the work week. Uh, when I talk to others, it seems to be the norm to be, 2 days here, 3 in the office, 2 in the office, 3 at home, whatever it might be. Um, so yeah, we're trying to frame some solutions around that.
Right. Right. I'm kind of seeing the same thing here in Jersey. At least what I see in Jersey, I live in Highlands, which is on the what we call the Sandy Hook Bay, right? So I can look out my backyard and I can see the skyline of New York City, right? So we have a ferry service that runs from both towns, Highlands and Atlantic Highlands. And during COVID, the ferry shut down. About a year later, when it started opening back up, the lots were about 50% full. When I go there now, the lots are back to 100%. So,
Yeah.
at least from what I'm seeing is a lot of people have gotten back to the office, but for those of us, of course, in that hone our skills on the print industry, it's still not back to where it was, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what we're seeing is is that there's a lot of, yeah, we're seeing the same thing. You don't have to look either at the skyline or parking lots, but you can see on the interstates too. I mean, there are a lot of people going to and from work during the commuting hours. So, I mean, obviously people are finding their way back in the office. How it's affected us in print and strategizing is is learning what opportunities are there. Not enterprise office opportunities aren't have, like you can probably vouch for this, haven't gone away completely. They're still needed. Whether someone's in the office 5 days a week or in the office 2 days a week, they still need the printers and copiers.
Right.
The other side of it is what do the people need when they're at home in their home office. So that's what we've tried to look at what opportunities are there. The print fleet expanding beyond just the office space and into office in this dynamic home office space. So there's a lot of elements to that, all the way from how you manage that via MPS,
Right,
or what kind of security print options do you have,
right,
especially for printers in offices that maybe aren't as heavily populated all the time. When you got sensitive, documentations, papers, you definitely want to have locked printers or printers that have passcodes to access that media that might be sensitive. So bringing awareness to that, bringing solutions to those areas,
right.
especially in the banking and financial, has been big.
Yeah, and that whole managed print is growing better than any other segment. So when you look at wide format printers, if you look at standalone scanners, if you look at office copiers, and then you look at managed print has the largest compounded annual growth rate through 2029 at over 9%. Where if you look at copiers, it's a minus 0.5%. Standalone scanners are up there at about 5 to 6, and wide format is just a hair below that at 4.
Yeah, and it's interesting you mentioned standalone scanners. That was one thing we saw that transitioned heavily in the last 5 years is more growth in that standalone scanner.
Right.
One of the solutions we offer is kind of what makes Arlington a little more unique than others in distribution is that we're beyond, we go a little beyond our product categories from print and into things like shredders and finishing products. So one of the solutions we offer is the print scan destroy solution. You can provide the printer, you can provide the scanner, and you provide the shredder, and we got this cycle of security.
Right.
People are wanting things to print so they can sign manually, then they scan it, store it, cloud, and then destroy that original document. And we're seeing that cycle being very effective for businesses that are approaching their customers and with these solutions and answers to how you can handle this in both a hybrid environment or in an office environment.
Yeah. So what type of scanners do you guys offer? Brands?
At Arlington, we're a Direct Capture Pro with Epson.
Okay.
So that's our number one go-to when it comes to scanning products
Right.
for standalone.
I know we chatted a couple of weeks ago, but there's some new items you have in your portfolio.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, there's some new items, there's some expanded items. Like on the finishing side of business, we just recently started a relationship with Formax out of New Hampshire, and so we're beginning to carry. We've begun to carry their products, everything from finishing equipment to shredders themselves. So we're excited about that. I mentioned security print.
Right.
We've talked about Troy Group, and we've discussed them in the past with their HP line of product for security print. Source Technologies is another one. So they do more of the Lexmark models and security print. So we have both those brands and those lines covered now on the security print side of things.
Neat. So the Formax line, that's the complete lineup. That it also includes their label printers, envelope printers.
That's a good question. Yeah, we haven't brought the full line in just yet. We're kind of slow. We're kind of introducing them slowly. So we've brought in, I think, about 25 to 30 SKUs initially.
Nice.
And we may look to expand into those other categories soon.
So other than, I guess, products, is there anything else that's unique or different?
Well, I think it's just, as a distributor, it's supporting our dealers and finding other ways to do that. I mean, like I mentioned, we can sell all the product in the world. We can offer the solutions, but it's some of that ancillary information, like customizable marketing pieces. Our marketing department does a lot of work with digital flyers and creating things that are reseller facing. We've made an effort to make those customizable retail versions, providing PDFs that can be edited by our customers with insert their logo, their pricing. They can offer that professionally developed, marketing piece with their logos and their branding. All they need is access to our e-storefront
Right?
portal. They log in and then get to our marketing center and then get all those documents. That's one piece. And
Really?
then when it
Okay.
comes to aftermarket, our aftermarket line of toner, we do print labels, so we can put their logo and their branding on print labels. That's a service. So we do the true blind shipment
Right.
solution there, and we even do custom packing slips too, so they can put their information on the packing slips that print out with their logo and their branding as well. So having a full turnkey blind virtual warehouse, if you will, out of our 5 distribution centers.
Nice. Where are those distribution centers again?
It's a good question. Yeah, so we used to have one here in Charlotte,
Right?
but we opened a facility in Atlanta, and outside Atlanta, in Tucker, Georgia, and
Right?
another one in Harrisburg, PA, in Camp Hill, to be specific. So we had a little redundancy on the East Coast with the Charlotte location. So those are the 2. There's the one in PA and Georgia, where our main office is in Waukegan, Illinois, north of Chicago. We have a DC there, Dallas, Texas, in the southern Midwest, and out in Compton, California, outside Los Angeles, in the Los Angeles County
Okay.
area there. So yeah, those are our 5 coast to coast. So pretty much from anywhere we can get a ground package. We like to say to 99.9% of the shipping locations. If you live in northern Montana or Idaho,
It's a little bit longer.
it may get a little longer to get up there, but
Right?
those are little they're not as densely populated, obviously.
Right? Right. So for our dealers, Arlington going to be attending any additional events in 2024?
That's a good question too. Yeah, so we've kind of focused our events on a lot of the buying groups and partners. We were just at the IBPI annual meeting as of the recording of this, the first week of April, down in Lake Buena Vista, Florida.
Yes.
And we will be attending the other buying group shows that we're part of, ISG, the old Trimega,
Got it.
ISG, Independent Stationers, Office Partners, NDOF. Those organizations, that they'll have their meetings. I think they're typically, from what I've looked at, in the fall. We'll be attending those events.
Nice. How do you see from your end the rest of the year playing out, especially moving into who knows what's going to happen in November?
That I wish I had that. I wish I could rub that magic lantern and get that answer.
Right?
There's a lot of uncertainty, needless to say, in an election year. Every year in distribution, we head into an election year where we know that there's a bit of uncertainty. I'm hopeful that it won't be too disruptive to our situation. Obviously, the political environment in the United States, we don't need to get political, but
Yes.
there's obviously a lot of tension built around that, and more so in my lifetime, in the last 5 to 10 years, than I never experienced. So
Right.
who knows, honestly, but I'm hopeful as Americans we'll get through this process.
Right.
In the end, we'll unify, and when tough times arise, we have a tendency, history shows, to gather and to triumph rather than to divide. So we're hopeful of
Right.
that. On that note, we offer a lot of finishing products between those brands you mentioned, Formax, Martingale, MBM, HSM. Some of those products those are things that they have a lot of equipment that is used in election facilities. So there's
Absolutely.
opportunities for our dealers to, in this election time. This is the time right now, as we're in
Yep.
April, to start going out and finding those local municipalities that in those election locations, and find out what they're doing for print, what they're needing for binding, for whatever it might be, hole punches, you name it. There's a whole line of products that these locations need.
Yep.
So there's opportunity, and we hope that
Absolutely.
our resellers will look to Arlington, call and ask, and when you find out what's needed, there's a good chance that we have it with one of those lines I just mentioned.
Right. Yeah, there's still going to be a lot of door knockers, people handing out information. Maybe we'll see a little bit of an increase moving towards the end of the year.
Yeah, I hope so.
That's great, Brent. I was hoping maybe you could tell us more about a recent fundraiser that I became aware of.
Yeah. So yeah, usually in the fall and the winter, our owner, Larry Honeycutt, he's very aware of people that are in need. In the past years, we've done a lot with Convoy of Hope. This year, we focused on the American Cancer Society. Cancer's affected us within our organization personally, with employees,
Yeah.
and so we made an effort just really from mid-November through the end of December, right around Thanksgiving to New Year's, to try to raise money for the American Cancer Society, and we'd match everything up to $25,000. So we were pleased to say that we exceeded over $50,000 that we were able to raise, thanks to our customers and the generosity of our owner, Mr. Honeycutt,
Wow.
to give back to that organization. So obviously that's something that's close to us. Cancer is amongst us. It's affected most everybody.
Yep.
In this country, and
Yep.
they're an organization that we spotlighted as one that's working to assist people and families of those affected by cancer. So we're very pleased with that, and I'm sure there'll be something that we do, whether it's with them or with another organization, come this fall.
That's fantastic. Good to hear. Because like you said, we're all very close to either someone who is or was affected, and it's a great charitable thing you're doing.
Right. I mean, I think we were talking a couple weeks ago, the week of the Jillian Fund, right? I mean,
Yes.
there's a lot of different efforts that are being done within our industry that are just very commendable, and each one of us is just trying to do our part to help in those fights and those battles.
I agree. By all means. By all means. So just wanted to get back to everybody. We're on with Brent from Arlington Industries. And Brent, if you could just close with a little bit about what your role is at Arlington for our members.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, my title is the director of marketing. I've been with the organization for 25 years.
Wow.
We have a team of designers and marketing experts that do everything from designing our flyers, our digital catalogs, to the emails and ads that you'll see in the trade publications. So obviously social media is a big part of that now, video content. So yeah, that's my role, is to kind of drive that information out to an audience of current customers and new customers, and as well as support our sales team. And as I mentioned before, with the editable, customizable marketing pieces we do to support our customers in that fashion as well.
That's great. That's great. I want to thank you very much for coming on today and telling us more about Arlington. And for all our viewers and members and guests, we want to thank you very much for tuning in. Please like, follow, and share. And we'll probably see you soon with another version of Better Call Art. Thanks, Brent.
Thank you, Art.
You're welcome.